fools and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Verse 26, then opened, ought not Christ to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory? Verse 27, and beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto them all the scriptures, the things concerning himself. He expounded unto them the things concerning himself. How do you live the victorious life? The life of faith, the life that cannot be denied. Check up from the scriptures the things written concerning you. Oh, you say, is my name there? Not your literal name, your name as a believer. If you're a believer, check up what things are written concerning the believer. If you're a follower of Christ, your name is follower of Christ. Check up the things that are written concerning you. If you're a saint of God, a servant of God, the things that are written concerning the saints and the servants of God, check up the things that are written concerning you. If you just read the Bible, I read the Bible through every year. Good, good, good. But did you ever check up the things that are written concerning you? That's the secret of having the victory all the time. He expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. And then he tells us in verse 45, then opened he their understanding, that they might understand the scriptures. I pray the spirit of understanding will come upon you afresh today in Jesus' name. I'm coming now to number two. Number two, the withering paucity, that's poverty of people with unreasonable unbelief. It says in Mark chapter 9 verse 24, look at that last line. Help thou mine unbelief. What you claim as yours, it's yours. Some people say, my sickness, that's what you are claiming. Some people say, my enemies, that's what you are claiming. Some people say, my unbelief, that's what they claim. But the man, instead of looking at Christ alone and saying, Lord, I believe, he now said, but Lord, I also have another thing inside me here, mine unbelief that I possess. You will not have unbelief. You will not brag about your unbelief. You will not say, I'm a difficult fellow, I don't always believe. I am a simple person. I believe what Christ has said. I believe what my God has said. And what he has said will be fulfilled in your life in Jesus' name. Unbelief is unreasonable. When I see God who opened the Red Sea for 3 million people to pass over, unbelief becomes unreasonable. When I see people that went around the Jericho walls and all the walls came down flat, unbelief becomes unreasonable. When I see Christ who died and was buried, and the third day, according to what he said, rose up triumphantly, unbelief becomes unreasonable. When I see God fulfilling his promise for the sick, for the demonized, and for the needy, unbelief then becomes unreasonable. And it is the unbelief that withers and dries up our lives. the withering, poverty, paucity of people with unreasonable unbelief. 3 things we're looking at. Number 1, the grim condition of lives in unbelief. Number 2, the great cost and loss of unbelief. Number 3, the grievous condemnation for lost in unbelief. Number one is the grim condition of lives in unbelief. Matthew chapter 13, reading from verse 54. And when he was come into his own country, he taught them in their synagogues, so much that they were astonished and said, whence has this man this wisdom and these mighty works? Verse 55, is not this the carpenter's son? We're looking at the physical, not at the spiritual. It's not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph and Simon and Judas? Verse 56, it says, and his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then has this man all these things? Verse 57, it says, and they were offended in him. But Jesus said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, save except in his own country and in his own house. Verse 58, and he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. The power was there. The power that can recreate the whole universe. The power was there to do many mighty works, but because of their unbelief, they put themselves in a grim condition. Look at number 2. Number 2, the great cost and loss of unbelief. We're looking at Hebrews chapter 4, reading from verse 1. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 1. It says, let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. Verse 2 says, in verse 2, for unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them. That's the cost of unbelief. That's the loss of unbelief. The word preached did not profit them, not be mixed with faith in them that had it. They wasted their time hearing because the word did not mix with faith. In all those people, they had settled unbelief. Your heart will not be like that. We're looking at number 3 there. Number 3 there is the grievous condemnation for lost in unbelief. It tells us in Hebrews chapter 3, verses 18 and 19. Hebrews chapter 3, we're looking at verse 18. And to whom swear he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believed not. God had a purpose. Take them out of Egypt, out of the land of bondage, and take them to the promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey. God had a good intention for them, a good purpose for them, a good destiny for them. He wanted to take them to that place of joy and that place of total provision, sufficient provision, abundant provision. But they believed not. And because they believed not, here is the condemnation, here is the consequence of that kind of life. And then in verse 19, it says, so we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief. I will enter in. Say that again. Everything, every good thing, promised land that the Lord has marked for me, and he has given you a place there, a seat there, an assignment there. Every place the Lord has prepared for you in the promised land, even in this world, and then in the world to come, you will enter in. Unbelief will not hinder you. The power of the Lord will protect you. The power of the Lord will preserve you. Unbelief has to go. From my heart, from my mind, from my thinking, from my spirit, unbelief has to go. And I will enter in. Welcome. I welcome you to the promised land. Nothing will stand in your way. The faith to have, the faith to possess, you'll have in Jesus' name. I come to point number 3 now. Point number 3, the wonder-working power in the performance of unconquerable faith. Unconquerable faith.